Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here, Sue, and thanks for that intro. Yeah, so listen, overthinking creates stress and mental exhaustion, and it dims your confidence, and it makes you a very ineffective decision maker. I'm so glad that came up, the analysis paralysis. It's what you're not doing when you're overthinking, and I'm going to share with you a few ways to recognize when you're in this pattern, is you're not solving problems. You're not making decisions and you're not coming to peace. You're not creating peace in yourself when you're overthinking. We have a tendency to tell ourselves that we're solving problems, that we're doing research, that we're looking for the right answer, and that we're being productive. But there's a big difference between effective decision making and effective problem solving and overthinking. And overthinking just creates so much stress. It's like being on a hamster wheel. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere, and it will run you down. So in the category of overthinking, and by the way, none of these things are bad alone. These are very powerful qualities. They can be real strengths. If you're very analytical, if you're a great problem solver, if you're a great researcher, all of those things, it's like anything else. When take it to the extreme, it can be very helpful until it's taken to the extreme. So overthinking is when you take your strength and you go overboard into the ineffective shadow side of it. It comes under the category of analyzing, judging, monitoring, evaluating, ruminating, worrying. All of those things taken at face value can be helpful. Well, maybe except for worrying. I don't know there's ever a time when worrying is actually helpful. But they all can become overthinking. And here are three ways. There are other ways, but I'm just going to talk about three today because we can't boil the ocean in 10 minutes. Here's how you can tell you're overthinking. You have difficulty making decisions. That old analysis paralysis that Sue mentioned earlier. You're over analyzing options to the point where it feels paralyzing and it causes delays in your decision making. And you can tell you're doing this because it feels terrible. You know that you're in this place because you're actually on that mental hamster wheel, running yourself ragged and going nowhere. And if you could you have this voice inside your head that's saying, if I could just make a decision and move forward, I can figure out what's next. But you will never be able to figure out what's next by staying on that hamster wheel. Another sign you're overthinking is self-doubt and second guessing. So even when you make a decision, you second guess yourself. You question, did I make the right decision? You go back and overanalyze what about this and what about that? You can't be at peace with your decisions. And then another sign is that you're constantly replaying scenarios. You're continuously analyzing past events or conversations. You're running them through your head. You spend Saturday afternoon thinking about a conversation you had on Friday and wondering, what did they mean by that? Or worrying about a meeting you have on Monday. What are they going to talk about? Why didn't I get more information? Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? You're spending a lot of time in your head, not making decisions, not coming to conclusions, not solving problems. That's the big descriptor, is you're putting in a lot of effort and going nowhere. So think about the times in your life when you feel like you're literally on a hamster wheel in your head. That's how you know you're overthinking. You're really tired, but you haven't really accomplished much. Today, Sue says, Sue, we need to talk. This is what, if you take nothing else from what I share today, because I want to help give you peace and relieve your stress and your mental exhaustion. And if you take nothing else from what I share today, please hear me on this. There's one thing that breaks the spell of overthinking. Action. You have to take some form of action. Action breaks the spell of overthinking, and that's why I call it underthinking it. Now, there are people in this world who should not take this advice. If you have a tendency to never overthink things and you're impulsive, you probably need to slow down a little bit in your decision making. But you know who you are. If you're on that hamster wheel, I'm here to tell you that you're trying to avoid taking action, most likely because you're afraid you're going to make a mistake or not make the right choice. And here's the great rub with that. You'll not figure it out until you take action. It's the only way. So I want to give you a simple tool that can help you take action. And taking action doesn't always mean actually physically doing something. Lucy agrees. So true. I'd love to know what you agree with, Lucy. So I'm covering a lot. It doesn't always mean actually physically doing something. It could mean making one small decision so that you can set yourself up to make the next decision and the next one and the next one. So here's a tool that you can use. And I actually got this from the Mayo Clinic. They have some great mental health tools. And it's what they call, it's the 4 A's. The 4 A's, letter A. You have 4 choices that will make this very much more simple for you. You can avoid, alter, accept, or adapt. So if you're in a place where you feel like you're trapped in your head, try this tool. And I'll talk about it in a little detail so you can see exactly what I mean. Avoid, Sue, you're taking awesome notes. Avoid means, is there a way that I could simply avoid this stressor? Could I distance myself from this person who's causing me so much stress? Could I delegate something? Can I take something out of my calendar? Can I rearrange my schedule? Am I spending so much time thinking about this when the simple answer is I could find a way to avoid the stress? It doesn't mean you don't tackle the problem. Hear me. It is advocating for yourself and your own emotional health. Is there a way I could just simply avoid this by finding another strategy? Sometimes when you take a yes, can I throw money at this problem to make it go away? Sometimes the answer is yes. Can I stop thinking about spending that money and just make the decision and get on with my life? Yes, 100%. So the powerful question, I like always to ask powerful questions. The powerful question for avoid is, how can I just make this easier for myself? How can I make this easier for myself? You'd be surprised how creative you can be when you ask yourself open-ended questions like that. Okay, the next A is alter. You can ask for what you want or need. You can communicate with people so they can change their behavior. This is about setting boundaries. What can I alter in my circumstances that will ease my stress and get me out of this overthinking loop? Do you see that these are all just decisions? You're just making decisions. Yes, 100% the One Thing book is a great recommendation. So alter, the powerful question for alter is, what can I do to change things for the better? That's actually changing things around you. You can accept. The third A is accept. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with people or the situation. It doesn't mean just going along to get along. But the real impetus behind overthinking is often a way to try to take control of something you don't like. And so many times, the best option is to just accept what is and then think about what you want to do. If I can just stop saying it shouldn't be like this, they shouldn't do that, he shouldn't have said that, that's how you'll know. That's one way you can know that the accept A is a great choice for you. So the powerful question is how can I relax into what is? What is? What is? And how can I just let it be? And then you're in a much better position to make that next decision. It's all about taking some action, making some decision to get yourself off that hamster wheel. And then the fourth A is adapt. This is where, instead of trying to change your circumstances, avoid them, or accept them, or maybe it'll be a mix of all, because this is not about perfection. This is just about helping yourself be more effective and feel better, is to adapt. And that means, what can I change in myself that will make this easier? If you notice something about the way you look at things, your goals, your perceptions, your expectations, that keeps getting you into this place of overthinking. I notice that every day at the end of the day, I haven't finished what I planned to do. Okay, there's an opportunity for you to adapt. I guess I'm over planning. How can I change something about myself or my pattern to make this easier on myself? So your powerful question is, what pattern am I seeing that I can shift that would positively change my experience? All of these questions are designed to help you feel more in control of your circumstances, because that's what we're all looking for. And that is exactly what's behind overthinking, is your drive to find some autonomy, some ability to control your experience. And these are very clear ways to do that. My question is, what's one thing I can avoid, alter, accept, or adapt to that will improve my life today?